Oh my God! That was pretty bad. On that note, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the BES podcast.
This is crazy.
Yeah, you all right there?
That was gross.
Okay, no, it was pretty disgusting. It was pretty disgusting. I'm not gonna lie to you. But today we have I mean, it's not really jam packed, but there's some things to talk about. So make sure you guys stay tuned because we are going to talk about why the '90s basketball, how we feel about it, and why MJ had no left. Right? We we are going to talk about what makes a winning culture, and we might touch base on some relationship news or I guess obstacles. So without further ado, make sure you guys like this video, this episode if you enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't just yet. If you haven't, you are considered a boothie. And you know what? For the sake of it, I'm going to give you guys a challenge. We are now March 10th. And I think we have 128 subscribers. By the end of March, I would like to be at 150.
God.
Let's try to get 22 more subscribers by the end of March and smash that subscriber goal. Okay? So let's do so. It takes 2 seconds of your life. And it's one free thing. If you want to do something free, hit that subscriber button. It's free. You don't got to pay for it. But we would truly appreciate that. I am here accompanied by my two co-hosts. To my right, it is the master of the X's and O's, Coach EJ. I lied to you guys. Coach EJ is actually not here. We are going to round of applause for Coach EJ. He is not here. Coach EJ, he got sidetracked with some family business, so he's not here with us today. But to my left, we have your favorite all-star first baseman, Eli. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up to Eli. Yes, Sirski.
Right there.
Yeah, no, we're not going to go any further than that. And, of course, your favorite dad. I am Nefty. Welcome back. How are we feeling?
Good. I mean, also, like, low-key old.
Okay.
I mean, I got hurt in BP. Swinging, just swinging. Not even at 100%. Just, like, put the ball here, put the ball there. My third swing, I, like, jammed my thumb on the swing back. And I'm like, it's all right now.
Yeah,
but
batting gloves?
No. It was just dumb. It was just dumb. I'm like, that would never happen, and it did.
I mean,
other than that, it was fun.
If it makes you feel better, my senior year in basketball in Kearney High, during warm-ups, I rolled my ankle, and I was out like 5-6 games after that. If it makes you feel any better.
That's so. Not. I'm sorry. I'm not. That's crazy.
Yeah. By the way, that was my first game starting that season. Yeah. I had to work for my start. I mean, it was 3 games into the season, and I stole the starting job, and I ended up losing it because I rolled my ankles during warm-ups.
Yo, that's crazy. You was too geeked up. You was animated.
Yeah, I might have been. It was a pretty bad ankle sprain.
Yeah, you must have got a little bit too above the ground.
Yeah. I don't remember if I was getting. Oh, I think what happened was, this is what happened. We're doing shoot-arounds or layup lines or whatever the case may be. I know someone shot it. I went up to get the rebound just to either whatever, and someone else was around me, and I landed on their foot. Yeah. Why was that person around me during shoot-around? Who knows? But I actually know the person. I'm not going to say their names. I'm not going to throw them under the bus like that. But it is what it is. Sticking to basketball, this week we were blessed to watch 2 matchups that could potentially be, I mean, I guess potentially, could be NBA Finals matchup. The one that has the most potential is the Denver Nuggets did play Boston in Denver this past Thursday. Denver actually winning this game against, right, if I could remember correctly, Denver wins this game against Boston. A horrific fourth quarter by not only Boston, but by quote unquote MVP consideration, Jason Tatum. Thoughts on the game, thoughts on the gameplay by both teams, and what else did you get out of this game?
It's tough. When I'm a stats guy, so when I just look at the sheet after the game. I mean, Denver made a conscious effort of making sure we're going to try to get the ball out of JT's hands quickly and often. I think he only shot the ball less than 15 shots, which was very shockingly. And you had Jaylen Brown was like, we're going to let your $340 million guy score. And he had 44?
Yeah, some shit like that, 44.
He went bananas. And I've talked about this late. Like, if you're able to stick around with Boston, because they go ahead and they go on runs, they take leads. When you're able to, like, chip away and stick around like Denver did, when it comes to coaching and when it comes to you got freaking Joker on your team, they just make plays continuously at the 4-minute mark. When you need a bucket, when you need to go ahead, like, hey, we need to run a play, you need something to happen, Joker's got the ball in his hands, and he's making plays. He's reading the defense, and he's making really tough plays. And what I wanted to see differently was the offensive movement in those 3 to 4 minutes that I talk about with Jaylen Brown and freaking JT, is that when they go ahead and have the ball, it's a lot of settling. They don't have go-to plays. They don't have go-to movements. And I blame that also on the coach. Some of these play like, I guess after the timeouts, I'm like, you have a set play, and you know you're a great coach when you run your set play and you get a bucket. Mm-hmm. Off a timeout. If you run a set play, it works guaranteed every time.
Right.
I don't see that from him. I don't see that from any of the players. When they play from the first 3 quarters, fourth quarter happens, and it's a close game, it switches. Mm-hmm. We're doing a lot of standing. We're doing a lot of one-on-one. There's no running on the backside. There's honestly, it looks like 5-on-5 basketball at the LA. That's what it looked like.
Yikes.
So what I wanted to see different from Boston, I didn't see. And what I talk about Denver and what they do so well, I saw. Mm-hmm. So if this were to happen, it may not be close. Boston may just win 1. If they continue to have these woes in the fourth where they go against good teams and you got to worry about clock management, you got to worry about, on the defensive end, what to do. Because Porzingis was no answer for the Joker. I mean, there's no one's answering the Joker. So, but to slow him down, not only he's killing you offensively, but he also had 10 assists. So you got to stop one.
You had a triple-double.
Gross.
I only know because I played a ticket, and unfortunately Sabonis killed the ticket for me. But
yeah, when he's in the game like that, good luck.
Yeah.
So that's my take. I don't like to continuously harp on Boston, but at this point it's like, dude, you've been there to the Eastern Conference Finals. Mm-hmm. You lost 3 times.
Yeah.
You then go face Golden State up 2-1.
When you did win, and then you blow it. And the time management and coaching and JT stepping up and being that guy is the same issue all the time. It's nothing different. And we have to not put some heat on him, but he's got to feel it. He's got to, like, hey, I'm not saying it has to be done this year, but that has to change. The culture of just making it to the Eastern Conference Finals is not enough. Yeah.
Or just getting to the finals and, we were up 2-1 against Golden State, but that's okay.
Yeah, it means nothing.
It means nothing. And he's the type of player, if he wants to be the face of the league, that I thought he could be. In these close games against great teams, you need to step up late in the fourth. And he has yet to prove that.
Yeah, these games are very important in my opinion because yes, they're regular season games, but they're games where this is where you need to realize, okay, what's their game plan? How do they attack us? How do we attack them? If we're in a 7 game series, what are the things that we have to heighten to limit their, their play? It's also obviously a national televised game, so everyone's gonna see how this plays out, right? Now, one team did so and one team didn't. The team that didn't was Boston, right? Boston. Jason Tatum scores 15 points, which for someone like I said before, I'm seeing to be the face of the NBA, and we're gonna get to that in a second, right? You can't score 15 points in a national televised game against the Denver Nuggets, the defending champs, who you could potentially be playing in the NBA Finals, right? And then in the fourth quarters, you have 4 or 3 turnovers. I think you go like 2 for like 7 or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be, right? That is a stat line in the fourth quarter. By the way, the Celtics are the best offensive fourth quarter team in the NBA. You face Denver, that all went out the window, right? Your quote unquote best player all went out the window. So you had one of the worst fourth quarters against one of one of the best teams in the West and possibly the best matchup you are going to have in the NBA Finals, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. I agree with you with the whole Missoula thing. There's nothing I got to touch base on there. And we already spoken enough about Missoula's only good for one thing, and that is Missoula's really good at exploiting matchups. He's actually really good at exploiting matchups. But when it gets to prime time moments in the game, when it gets to set plays in the game, Missoula is not that guy. And that is going to hurt Boston. Okay. Then another thing that Denver does very well, not sure if it's just Joker or, their personnel or the coach, someone in Denver does really well with figuring out what are you strong on at, what can we manipulate, and how do we win this game manipulating that. The game before Denver, Boston slaughters Golden State, right? By 50.
Yeah, gross.
If you remember, one of the big stories in that game was Jaylen Brown coming out, oh, they're slacking off me, please. I want every team to do so.
Yeah.
Well, be careful what you wish for. Because Denver goes, okay, how about we slack off and let you go off for 44, but your teammate's only going to score 15.
Yeah.
And that can't happen.
Nope.
Yeah, you want them to slack off you? Cool, that's great. You score 44, but then you get exposed. The rest of your team gets exposed. Another person they look for in times like this, Derek White, non-existent in the fourth quarter. You know, you mentioned Porzingis. I'm not gonna continue harping on it. You already said what you needed to say, and I agree. Right? Drew Holiday, decent game, but it doesn't get highlighted. Why? Because quote unquote best player, 15 points. Quote unquote one of the most complete players in the NBA, and Derek White, non-existent in the fourth quarter. Porzingis, come on, you're not gonna do anything against Joker, right?
No.
Unless, to your point, unless you're Joel Embiid, not too many people are doing anything against Joker, right? This was a very, very telling game, and if I was Boston, I wouldn't just take this as a regular season game. Those that also forgot, Denver went into Boston and snapped Boston's 28-game home winning streak.
Yeah.
In Boston.
Yep.
And that was also, it wasn't a nail biter, but that was also a tight game where Denver noticed and realized how to win. And that's the thing about Denver. You mentioned this as well as EJ. I don't want to take credit away from EJ. Both of you mentioned how Denver is just looming in the 4th and 5th seed. They're just it's kind of like Miami too. People are not realizing what Miami's doing, and they do this a lot too. They kind of just loom around and they figure out, oh, this is what you do? Come playoff time, I got you guys. I got it. Don't worry about it. We're going to pinpoint this little strength that you have, right? And that's what Denver does very well. Then once Denver comes into town, it's kind of like, yeesh.
Yeah.
So, and then EJ mentioned this last week. Then we have the Joker. This game, I really, really realized what EJ was trying to say last week about the whole we are looking at an unathletic LeBron James. It showed. It showed.
Yeah.
What he wanted to do and get it done to not only help himself, but help the team win, it was done. Right? Then he rolls his ankle or whatever. He had like a minor ankle injury. He sits out, I think it was 13 minutes. At that time, right? In those 13 minutes, this is where Boston really fucked up. 13 minutes or so, or whatever the time limit or the time was without Joker, you don't blow Denver out the water. That's very alarming. Especially with Jaylen Brown going off for 44 points. You should probably be beating Denver by 50 the same way you beat Golden State. If Joker's not on the field. Right? Cool. Whatever. Here comes Denver. They just loom around. You know, we're down by 12 or whatever case. That's fine. That's fine. Clocks in Joker. The game is over. The game's
Clock's
over.
back in.
Joker clocks in. I think it was 4 minutes into the third quarter. And literally first play gets the ball. Porzingis at the block. 3 dribbles. Cut. Pass. Dunk. Aaron Gordon. And the rest of the game was like, give me this ball here. I'm going to control the time. And we're just going to chip away. All right? Boom. On defense. Hey, Tatum. Got you. We're going to, boop, island. And you know Tatum's blah, 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 step back, contested 3 for no reason when in the first half, Tatum is blowing by dudes, getting his point. I think Tatum scored the 15 in the first half. I might be wrong. I don't really know how he scored it. But in the first half, Tatum was not easily scoring, but he was getting to his spots.
No.
He wasn't settling for the 3. He was getting his layups and stuff like that, right? Okay, cool. Fast forward, because I really want to get into the rest of it. I think I wasted, excuse me. Final play of the game. Tatum gets the ball. I think it's they're down 1, down 2, whatever the case may be. To your point, Mazzulla, I don't understand. Right? If I remember correctly, I think there was a timeout beforehand. So, what that mean? You got to make a play.
Run a play.
You got to run a play, Mazzulla. You got to like, no offense to the Boston Celtics. Obviously, I root for them because I'm a Jason Tatum fan. No one on the Boston Celtics is a LeBron or a Joker or a Kobe or a Durant where they're like, listen, you don't want to call a play, Mazzulla? Okay, this is what we're going to do, gang. Yeah. No one on the Boston Celtics is that guy.
Nope.
And if there is, guess what? You're doing a poor job at showing us.
Yes.
Cool. So Mazzulla doesn't call the play. The play is, or whoever calls this, right? There's not one screen. There's not a bad screen. There's not a weak ball side screen. Nothing. Everyone is stationed. Here comes Jason. Dribble, 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 dribble. Dribble to the right, right? Pull up. Now, okay. A million things have went wrong. Now, this is the one right thing. I am not going to say this is a bad shot from Tatum, because this is one of his shots. He gets to the elbow. He levitates. 6'7", 6'8". He's taller than most dudes, right? Goes up for the jumper, right? Not going to say that you should make it or not. This is your jumper. Whatever happens, happens. You at least got to your spot.
Yeah.
But guess what I noticed? You got to the spot and banked on the fact that, okay, if I get fouled, I get 2 free throws. You got the call. But guess what happened? They went back to the booth and reversed the call. Because, who was it? Who guarded him? I forgot who guarded him. Didn't touch you at all. So, what this tells me, right? This is what this tells me. You got to your spot. You looked for the foul. But you missed your shot. You didn't get the foul call. You end up missing your shot. I mean, we're going to probably throw in that it was an ill-advised shot. Because, to be honest, you probably could have, churned the corner and got yourself a layup. So now if you don't get fouled, guess what? You made the shot at least. And all that is telling me, you guys aren't ready. You guys are going to get bounced again by Miami. If you guys aren't careful enough and the Knicks get healthy, I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks win the series.
Yeah, if they just got to stay around. Honestly, I've said this about them. I'm like, if you can stick around, you are gonna be able to win games against Boston.
Yeah.
In a series, you are late game. Keep it close.
For sure.
Stay within 10. You know what I mean? Make it close. JT settles in the fourth. It's everything. Everything is like, I can just shoot. When he's the aggressor
Mhm.
and he's going to the rim, he is unguardable. And when people notice that the moment gets big and they see JT, they are allowing him to shoot.
Right. And
We are gonna stay in front of you just enough because we know you like to shoot it.
you like to settle for these 3-point shots, and I'm
It's
not
so
saying you
bad.
can't make them, but Boston has a tendency of, if Boston's off, Boston's off. They'll go 10 for 30 at the 3-point line. And what, 30%? I guess, but
Yeah,
if you're shooting 30, the way I see it, regardless of the shot, if you're shooting 30 and only making 10, I'm having an issue.
uh,
I'm having an issue. You got to at least make 15 to 20 for me,
you gotta at
especially if it's a
least
3-ball shot.
you gotta shoot it at 40% in the league, man.
Especially now, especially in today's league, right? Then now let me supplement your point because you're absolutely right in everything you just said. Cool. If Tatum is on point, guess what happens to the rest of the team?
They follow suit.
They follow suit. They start moving. They making shot. And there was a play in this game. See, this game, I'm telling you, this game tells me a lot. It was also in the fourth quarter, but it wasn't. There might be 5 minutes left. I don't really remember. Tatum drives in. Now this is where Tatum went wrong. Drives in, gets to the basket, and you could tell he did not look to score. And that's mistake number one from you, Tatum, right? But boom, regardless of the fact you get to the basket, you know what happened? Everyone stayed on their man because they knew, okay, you're either gonna go up for the layup, and we'd rather you go for the layup than shoot a three, or you pass out and give it to someone because everybody else was knocking the threes.
Everyone was staying home.
Yeah. So while everybody stayed home and you went there and looked for the pass, guess what? You passed it out, and I think it was to Porzingis. I could be wrong. You passed it out to Porzingis. There was 2 seconds on the clock. He had to chuck it. It was a contested 3-point shot. Missed it. So now you got an empty possession because one, you didn't look to score, and two, because of your game being abysmal that day, everyone stayed stationed at their players, at their defensive assignment, and get an empty possession. So, hey, he's Eli's absolutely right. If Boston's not blowing teams out by 20, 30, 40, 50, they're probably going to lose that game.
Yeah.
They're probably going to lose that game because it doesn't look like they know how to win games. How to win games.
Close games.
Actually, before we get to this game, I want to give both you and EJ flowers. When we asked that question of who's going to be the face of the NBA, both of you were very heavy on Shea. Excuse me. Both of you were very heavy on Luka, and both of those guys are doing. Luka's on 6 straight games of triple double.
Yeah, he's
Shea, my life is consistent. Shea's literally a 31, 5-5 per game guy.
Yeah.
Literally, right? One more guy I'm gonna throw out there, and one of you might have mentioned it, right? And it showed because the other day, this is where Tatum lost the whole thing. Because Tatum fourth quarter, but Anthony Edwards in the fourth quarter said, "Yo, we don't have a cat. It's fine. I'm Anthony. Give me the ball."
Yep.
And he willed his team to a W. So listen, unless Tatum just goes nuts, and it's very difficult because there's 18 games left. You're gonna have to win every game by a buzzer beater to win any committee for an MVP at this point, right?
Yeah.
It's over. Your MVP candidacy for this year is donezo, right? Just worry about trying to get better and trying to win. Excuse me. Let's not say how to win games. Boston, learn how to not lose games. I think that's the best way to put it for you guys. Now, the next game after the Denver loss, you guys then go play Phoenix. And I have to give you guys slight kudos. Why? Here comes Kevin Durant, the old great Kevin Durant. We're down 8, I think it was. He puts the Suns on his back. He starts chipping away. Boom, 3 here. Boom, drives in layup. Boom, drives in pass, right? Boston, as JT scores 29. I think JB also had like 20-something points or whatever the case may be. Boston solidifies the game. Drew Holiday, his stats, played another good game. But we felt it because it wasn't overshadowed by someone else playing horrible.
Yeah.
This guy had 8 assists. He had 1 beautiful assist. I swear to God, I don't think Drew even looked at the basket. Right? But boom, bro. That's what I'm saying. Got to call these plays. Screen. Took the screen. Took 1 step in. My boy Horford was like, yo, I'm going to stay right here. I know exactly what's about to happen. I'm telling you, this defender shifted 50 feet into Drew. I don't even think Drew took a glance at the basket, and he said, "Wop, snappy." And that's where Boston is at its greatest. So it was like black and white, day and night. You know what I'm saying? You guys played Denver, horrific. Everything was bad. You guys couldn't win the game. But then you play Phoenix, and you managed to not lose the game against Phoenix, regardless of Kevin Durant literally putting the team on his back. I think I spoke too much. I know we have 1 minute here for those. I'm breaking the fourth wall here for those that. So let's take this small interval, and then I want to hear what you got to say about the Boston and Suns, unless you don't have anything at all.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't have much to say about Boston. The Suns, man. First of all, do you know the 7, 8, 9, 10? Dude, it's the Lakers, it's Golden State, it's the Suns, and
I think Utah, right?
no,
Is it Utah?
Utah's lower. Mavs, Dallas Mavericks are
Mavs.
in the mix. That mean that fighting for the 7, 8 seed is gonna be playoff like.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, right? Because you did say the Lakers.
I did.
Any hopes in your Lakers coming out?
They can beat any of those teams.
Okay.
The only one that would probably give them some trouble would be the Suns.
All right.
I think the Lakers got the Golden State's number.
Mhm.
They just run the defensive scheme that they run for Golden State is so ass backwards that like you're not supposed to play defense that way. Steve Kerr said you don't play defense that way. And they do it. Why? Because you have to push Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson towards the basket, which is something you're taught not to do. So any back doors, they allow it. And you run into who? Anthony Davis. So they try to take away threes, they push you towards the basket. Like they play them very well. Their guards, when it's not D'Angelo Russell playing defense, and they have Vanderbilt and they have Reeves going ahead and guarding those guys, yeah. But I think they have their number. Unless Steph freaking does what Steph does for 4 games, I think the Lakers would win.
Okay.
They're playing just abysmal. They got 8 Wiggins is out, personal issues. They got Klay Thompson is freaking up and down.
Right.
And Draymond is not Draymond unless other guys are doing what they got to do. And if you got Stephen Curry, who is going to give you all he's got.
And now he's hurt.
He's hurt.
I think he rolled his ankle or whatever it was.
It's going to be tough. And expect for him to win 4 games. Like, you expect your superstar to win you 2 games.
Your 35-year-old superstar.
You're 35.
Who now has a high ankle sprain.
It's going to be hard to do. So I think their best chance is any of those teams. Dallas, they need a little bit more. They got the two stars, but either my guy Luka he's got to change his game a little bit because he just draws so much attention that other people need to step up, and I don't think he allows that to happen. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think
you know what I mean. The amount of shots he puts up, he puts so much pressure on the defense, but it also doesn't allow other guys to get involved and get going. And I think when then he needs them at the most important time, they don't show up.
Yeah, they're
because
like cold.
because essentially they haven't been getting the ball enough. And that's I get it. You're averaging 35, 8 and 8. Like I get it, but something needs to change where you get your offense involved a little bit more because we've seen that you can't do it on your own.
Yeah,
we've seen with Kyrie, another ball dominant player. They need the ball. They need about 20 shots each.
Well, you're absolutely right. I actually have nothing against that. And I wanted to, I guess, to add to that is for Dallas to have what the freak Dallas for Dallas to have any chance, right after that point, after Luka either gets his or now is getting stopped, Now everybody else has to do the job, right? Like Luca can't. You're not gonna win games with Luca scoring 44 every game, and then Kyrie only has like 13.
Yeah.
You know that's not gonna happen,
And that's Kyrie.
right? So Luca got to get his 30 plus or whatever he's doing. Luca just got to be Luca, right? But somehow, like you said, figure out a way to get everybody involved because Kyrie is also going to need his 25 plus, right? Lively needs to continue doing what he's doing on the defensive end.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing very well with rebounding and blocking shots, but Lively has to keep that up, right? And the rest of the crew, like they can't just. I know I'm just reiterating what you're saying, but it's the magnitude of what's going on in Dallas is so heavy and is going so underrated that people are not realizing. You know, like you can't have one of the best players in the league and then everybody's like, oh, this guy's the MVP, this guy's the third, and then you're
You're
the ninth seed in the
you're
West
ninth seed.
or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know,
And
that's
somewhere
very
in there.
telling. You know, very telling. You know, right now we're watching a commercial, an Adidas commercial. Is Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards, one of those guys, has also looked at MVP. Shea, one of those guys, look. But what they have going on is the rest of the team is doing what they need to do, and that's why
Yeah.
they're the number 1 and 2 seeds. Right? You're leading a winning team to where they need to get to. Right? So
And it's tough because you got the Lakers. I mean the Lakers. You got Kyrie and Luca who don't defensively. They're not. They're not the greatest.
yeah,
So
right.
when not only is your team struggling to score, but then you're also giving up offensive
You're giving
points
up
on the
points.
other side.
Yeah, you can't score 120 a game and give up 126. Like
Yeah.
that's not.
Like they I know it's now because Luca definitely takes off plays.
Yeah.
We've seen stars just abysmal defense sometimes, but you will get exposed in the playoffs when you
1000%.
do stuff like that.
1000%.
So I like I said, I'm gonna stick to the Suns really being out of that group, the one to really knock out the Lakers if they had to, just because they got a bunch of mid-range sharpshooters, and Kevin Durant seems to still have it.
Now, within that group, it is your Los Angeles Lakers, and you brought up to our attention or a question, and the question is, do the Lakers play better without LeBron? Right? They did beat Milwaukee. I want to say I do have it here, so let me not. It wasn't an overtime game; it was a regular, right?
Yeah.
I think they were down big, but in that game, Rui scores 12, Davis has his 22, Russell has 44, Reeves has 18, and everybody is kind of looming around 6 to 8 points, which is okay. They win the game by 1 against Milwaukee. Mind you, Milwaukee in this game, Giannis scores 34. Lillard scores 28. So their big players did what they're supposed to do, and
Yep.
then they have
Cunningham.
Cunnington.
Oh, Cunningham.
Sorry, I forgot. Beasley, Cunnington, and Portis all scoring 14, 17, 14. So again, their stars are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Their
Word.
supporting cast is doing what they were supposed to be doing, and then the LeBron-less Lakers ends up right. I know Dinwiddie had the game-winning block shot against Lillard and stuff like that.
Damn.
Eli, are your Lakers better without LeBron James?
So this is very, for me it's a complex answer, and I'm gonna say that they do play better, but there's reasons as to why I think they play better. Now, the teams they also beat when LeBron is not playing are also high quality teams,
Right.
which is shocking because when you freaking have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, you go to an overtime game with the Wizards.
Right.
Like, I don't understand. But what I do see is a
Mind
lot
you.
more.
Mind you, wait. This is gonna supplement your point. Against, let me look that up because I think the game before the Wizards game, LeBron didn't play,
No, they played.
and they beat. Who they beat? I think the Thunder.
I brought this up. I remember bringing it up because I'm like, no way they beat them without LeBron, and you guys laughed in the group chat.
Right. Sorry, you can continue with your point. I'm gonna look that up for you.
So my thing is, I think they're giving LeBron too much credit at the age of 39.
The
You
Clippers.
they played the Clippers. Yeah.
The game before the Wizards
Yep.
was against the Clippers,
Yep.
and they beat them.
And my thing is, we talk about LeBron, 40 points, blah blah blah, but we also know that LeBron defensively at times doesn't play defense.
Yeah.
We also know that when LeBron has the ball, it does get a little stagnant. Now, what's happening is that me personally, I said he is better off the ball with this team because he allows D'Lo to do what D'Lo has been doing. It allows Reeves to create the offense that D'Lo also can set up and can spot up and shoot like you want them to.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a slasher like LeBron who is very deadly. Now, LeBron is still LeBron, where in moments where he feels like the game is swaying, he is very good at give me the ball, I'm going to put my head down, get a bucket.
Right.
He can still go ahead and take over games. What the issue is that he shouldn't have to do it for the 48 minutes.
Right.
He should be able to play in spurts and let the offense flow through Austin Reeves, through D'Lo. So I think he needs to continue to take a lesser role and allow them to be great. Because D'Lo at this point, I was harping on him last year, and he's heard it, and he said, "Hey, I take that. I take it with confidence. I'm gonna keep putting in my business, and I'm gonna stand on business, and I'm gonna do it." So he's been proven that hey, I can take a team like this and make noise. So I'm with D'Lo. I'm a rock with him. I'm like one of those fans. I love you when you're good. I'm gonna hate you when you're not. So he's doing his thing. I think we just need a little less of LeBron in the sense of, hey, let us carry you until we can't no more, and then you carry us.
Yeah.
And if they can find that free flowing of when to switch it to LeBron and when to let his team do it, I think that's when they're dangerous. Because we've noticed that with him, they're good, but for whatever reason, without him, they're playing against the Clippers and the Bucks, and they go ahead and win.
Thunders. The Thunder have yet to beat the Lakers this season, which is ridiculous.
And they're the number one.
And tonight you guys play Minnesota, which we'll see.
Well, we'll see. Anthony Edwards' game time decision, LeBron's game time, AD's game time. But if they all played, like I said, we'll see.
Yeah. I agree with you because I know it's a different cast, but there's one player that was in this cast that back then was playing very well, and it looks like he's back to that point, right? Before LeBron joined the Lakers, you know, the Lakers had their Brandon Ingram, they had their Lonzo Ball, they had D'Angelo Russell, right? Julius Randle and all these boys, Larry Nance, right? They had all these guys, and they were playing very well. Maybe not, championship basketball, but the Lakers were playing a cohesive basketball game, right? They were just playing together. They were playing better together, right? Here comes LeBron. Because of LeBron being traded, a lot of those guys get dispersed throughout the league and other teams. Excuse me. Right? So that is something that tells me like maybe LeBron should be like, oh snap, these guys might be playing a little bit better together if I'm not around. Now, where I give LeBron some slack is before. I'm not saying now. Before, D'Angelo's not, he's not showing up. Austin Reeves started this season pretty horrible. This season he's kind of like backing it up a little bit. But how many times do we have to come in here and talk about, oh, here goes Anthony Davis stinking up the club? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm LeBron James. I'm 40. I don't have that much time. I can't wait or rely on you guys to get the game together. I got to do what I got to do. So I understand why sometimes LeBron still kind of has to put the cape on. But now, to your point, LeBron, you sat out multiple games and your team gets it done, right? So now you need to be the leader that you are and realize, okay, how can I supplement this, right? Should I come off the bench? Or should I be in the starting rotation but be off ball, like you said, right? Now you got to realize If I can just have them continue playing the way they play, but bring in my 20 freaking 6-6 in however way, it has to be cohesive, right? You can't just show up and be like, all right, give me the ball. I'm gonna do LeBron. I'm gonna be LeBron. No. Your team is playing well. This is also going to benefit you guys going into the playoffs because now if your team plays a little bit more together and a little bit more complete, unless it's Denver, my money's on the Lakers.
Yeah.
You know? Now, this is all if D'Lo does what he's been doing.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis, continue what you're doing, especially defensively. Anthony Davis defensively has been playing very well this season, right? Austin Reeves looks like he's been waking up. Continue what you're doing. And if I'm correct, you guys still don't have Vanderbilt, which is a very strong defensive presence.
Correct.
That if you guys get back healthy and gets implemented smoothly into this gameplay, sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit.
Achimura is also getting more minutes and is definitely helping out the Lakers.
Now to answer the question, because I was just supplementing what you're saying. I am going to say no, only because yes, they're playing together, but the way I see it is, you got it's no secret that you guys are going to probably have to play in the play-in.
Yeah.
And we all know LeBron is one of those guys that when the game is on the line, he's not gonna lose.
Yeah.
Or do his best not to lose. So they might be playing more together, but are they playing better without him? We're gonna have to wait and see. I'm going to say no because my money will always be on LeBron if it's Game 7 and they really need to win.
Oh, I mean, when you put it like that, yeah, you're gonna want that guy.
Yeah. No, for sure. I still think you're right. I'm not going against your points. Because yes, they are playing a little bit more cohesive, a little bit more together. And like I said, LeBron now has to realize, okay, let me not disrupt what's going on, but how can I implement myself and make this better?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that he wanted earlier in his career, having a supporting cast that
giving the keys to AD, shit like that.
Yeah. So the fact that they're playing like this and AD's been consistent, I thought like, all right, D'Lo's gonna like slow down. He looks like he's not slowing down. Guys are starting to get into rhythm, and it's been multiple games with LeBron and without LeBron.
Yeah.
So if they can continue to do this, hey, they just need to make it work. If LeBron can make it work where he can still be LeBron, but let them be them, it'll be scary.
It definitely would be. All right, Eli, here you go.
Oh,
the spotlight is yours.
Yeah, buddy.
Eli brings to the group chat about
like it.
a scenario, I guess, or a thought, or a theory, or whatever you want to categorize it, about MJ having no left. Okay? On top of that, he also wants our thoughts on, NBA 90s basketball movement / gameplay.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to sit here. The floor is yours.
Bro, first of all, it's TikTok's movement. Obviously I was making fun of Michael Jordan and the defense of the 90s. But people are now starting to watch these games. They're like, all right, I don't watch MJ. I haven't seen MJ play.
This is, before you continue, right? This is where a lot of you old heads are going to fuck up, right? Because you guys want to come in and be like, no, when I saw MJ, this, that, and the third. That's cool, brother. That's great. But guess what? We saw LeBron and Kobe and Durant in a better defensive era. And you know what we can do? We can now watch highlights of the 90s and now compare them and sit here and have this conversation with you. Yeah. So I don't want to hear the whole, you guys weren't alive at that time. Bullshit, nigga. Bullshit. Guess what we have? There's a little website called YouTube, my guy.
YouTube.
All right? I can see the bullshit MJ had to play through. Okay? Even though there is one thing you 90 guys, you 80 and 90 guys can argue us against, and I haven't heard one of you say it. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut because I'm going to figure out a rebuttal in case one of you guys do. Again, the floor is yours.
Well, my thing is, I said my comments last week not knowing that there was a TikTok movement of the 90s being canceled.
Okay.
They're
Oh,
canceling the 90s. Like 90s shouldn't
90s
even
basketball.
basketball.
Okay.
It should not even be a thing. They're dismissing it.
Okay.
I literally I'll show you TikToks.
Uh huh.
But to bring up Michael Jordan not having a left hand and why they're dismissing 90s basketball is because they have several highlights of Michael Jordan not being able to go left. When he puts the ball down, he like there were just highlights of him being goofy.
Okay.
Like, and my thing is they talk about him being a specimen, being able to be dominant on both sides of the floor in
Okay.
the sense of like left and right of the court. And he struggled. He struggled on the left side a lot more than obviously did his right. People that also backed this up were people would say they're haters, like Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
What is the rule, Jordan rule? And
Yeah.
the Jordan rule was
They all
if he
mention
was
that.
on the right side of the court, make him go left. If he was in the middle, make him go left. And if he was on the left, you make him go left.
Basically shrink the court to the
Make
left.
him go one
Yeah,
side.
yeah. Okay.
And I thought that was hilarious
Mhm.
because obviously, like, well, Isaiah Thomas hates him. He wasn't on the USA team. My bad. Wasn't on the USA team. He's just hating. Well, Isaiah Thomas also beat Michael Jordan.
I was about to say we can't just discredit him because he's hating.
Yeah,
He
like,
had to go 1-on-1 against this guy.
and they won. And not only did they win, they had a game plan on how to beat him because Michael Jordan. Hey, they're roughing me up. We need some rules.
Hey, brother, that was legal back then. Got to deal with it.
90s basketball, right?
Right.
Uh,
Y'all want
Knocking
to use
heads.
that against
Yeah,
us, right?
word.
Yeah,
Knocking
okay.
heads.
All right, bet.
Your best player had.
Yeah,
I need to make a
it was
phone
legal.
call.
Got to deal with it, brother.
I
don't
gotta
wanna hear
make a phone call.
it. Yeah, and he did. He did
And
after.
he did.
Yeah, he had to
But-
realize he had to hit the gym, but it was 2 years
it-
too late, brother.
Yeah.
It was a back-to-back championship too late, brother.
Yeah, and then like my thing is, you didn't beat Magic when you were supposed to. You didn't beat Bird when you were supposed to. Like,
Oh,
played it.
Oh, the same way LeBron couldn't beat KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray when he was supposed to. The same way LeBron could have beat Tim Duncan, Ginobili, and the same way he couldn't beat a new era basketball in the Orlando Magics. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, with a tougher defense.
Yeah.
Got it.
Uh-huh.
Got it. Oh, okay.
I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you. I'm
Uh-huh.
with you. And like I said, when we were watching highlights, yeah, Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan. But we're also not going to sit here and be oblivious and say that he didn't have weaknesses. Everyone has weaknesses in a game.
The whole
Kobe
league.
had weaknesses in not passing the ball.
The whole league.
Like everyone does. Allen Iverson said on his podcast with Shaq, "Yo, I had no left hand." He said it. He's like, "Yo, I got no left hand." But why did people think you were going left? I just made them think I was going left. My crossover was so yacht that I made them think and believe that I was going that way, but
Facts.
I wasn't.
Facts.
And you damn know he has no left, and he gonna make you believe you.
Even your GO MJ thought that and got
And-
crossed the. He got crossed
in the middle
fuck
of the
up,
court. So, and they also, I mean, I don't know why people had time on TikTok, but then
they
they
had time.
They not only did they talk about him not having a left hand, they also brought up how good he was at defense, and he was getting cooked.
Which I mean, MJ was. I'm not gonna take that away.
We're not
from him.
gonna. He
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
defensively.
Yeah.
Defensively, he was good. I'm not gonna say he wasn't.
But-
But what I'm saying is how good of defensive he could have been when we've seen players that dribble head down.
No, okay,
You
and
know
then
what I mean?
I think that's where I'm going to agree with you and help you with this, right? All right, MJ was a great defensive player. Kudos, I love it.
But
love it. How defensive do you really have to be when the best players is literally 12% of the NBA?
Bro, he was getting hit by guards. Like he couldn't guard. Hey, yo, I need a Pippen.
Right?
Yo, slide over there.
And mind you,
I'm gonna go over here.
probably 70% of the better defensive players are on the same team. If you have Pippen, MJ, and Rodman, right? BJ Armstrong, he locked down when he needed to.
Come
I
on.
mean, Steve Kerr, it was whatever. Oakley and them boys,
Liability.
you know, they did their thing. But what other defense? Gary Payton?
He was a guard.
Maybe the Pistons, but the thing is, MJ started winning after the Pistons were dismantled.
Yeah.
After the Bad
That's what
Boys
I
Pistons
said.
was over, that's when MJ was like, okay, let me do
Yeah.
these
No,
these 2 3-peats back to back.
no
Right,
one
not
wants
back
to
to
say
back.
nothing when he freaking lost freaking what was it 7 8 playoffs before finally going.
Yeah,
It's no one. So
against
he goes against Boston, right? Does he wins one and lose 4-1 to
something like that.
to Boston? But
And
so it's because he did it in the second round,
you know what's
it's
crazy?
okay.
They
It's
want
allowed.
they want to bring up like, oh, but I'm not gonna discredit MJ because Boston had 5 All-Stars on the team. Cool. So 2007, San Antonio Spurs.
Yo, Rasheed Wallace, Hamilton. Oh,
Yeah. So yeah. Well, okay. Cool. Yeah, yeah. No, you're right. Eastern Conference Finals. He has to go up against the defending champs, Detroit Pistons. Right. Then he goes to the finals, San Antonio Spurs.
Kawhi, Ginobili,
No,
Duncan.
that's 07.
Oh,
They have Parker. They
oh,
have
you
Duncan.
older.
They have
Uh
Ginobili,
huh.
Boris Diaw.
Uh
They
huh.
have one of the greatest coaches of all
Uh
time.
huh.
Oh, so but we're gonna discredit that because of what?
I don't
Oh,
know.
okay.
I don't know.
Okay, got it. No, but MJ had to go against an all-star cast in Boston. Oh, got it.
It's,
Okay, right, got it.
the double
Um,
standard is crazy.
it's very. It's just hate. Listen. Sometimes I get it, bro. The haterade tastes good. What flavor y'all got? Strawberry? I mean, I
Strawberry.
like the green apple. It's a
Yeah.
good haterade, right? But no, when the facts is faxing, right?
Facts is facts.
Hey man, to add on to your whole TikTok movement, there was
No.
one TikTok I did see, and I was like, oh shoot, I should bring up this, and I don't want to say it because I want EJ here for this, right?
Uh.
But EJ, we'll have this conversation next week, right? I don't want to have a discussion. I'm just gonna bring this
Damn it.
up.
Okay.
I saw a TikTok, and when you sent me the whole MJ has no left, I'm like, whoa, this is making way too much sense. The TikTok was the kid sat down and said, Michael Jordan is just a 90s version of Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Someone tell me not. And I
I
sat there and
did
said,
see that. I did see that.
my gosh.
Don't do that.
Right? Because, okay, MJ has no left. What does Jaylen Brown not have?
No, he doesn't have a love.
Okay, MJ plays two sides of the ball. What does Jaylen Brown kind of do?
No, he does.
Okay,
He does play.
MJ's a freak of nature. He jumps out the gym, this, that, and the third. We can have the argument that Jaylen Brown is
He can
very
jump.
athletic.
He could jump.
I mean, he was in the dunk contest.
Yeah, he
even
could
though it
jump.
was an abysmal dunk contest. But nonetheless, he was in the dunk contest.
He could jump.
EJ, we'll talk next week. Okay?
That's disrespect. This guy.
Okay. Anyways, next topic, right? Let's continue.
That's
We got a few basketball things here, right? This could be a quick topic or not, but I seen a list. This is from an Instagram post called Ball Don't Stop. Instagram account, excuse me, called Ball Don't Stop. And they made a list, right? It's two-sided list. One is
Okay.
called Pure Bucket Getters, and the other one is called Dominant Scorers. And I want to go through the list to see if you agree, where do you disagree, or blase, blase, blah. Okay? I'm going to start with the Pure Bucket Getters first.
All right.
Got it? Pure Bucket Getters. Again, this is an Instagram account by the name of Ball Don't Stop. Shout out to them, okay, for making this list. Thank you for the content. Pure Bucket Getters. Carmelo Anthony. Allen Iverson. Michael Jordan. Kevin Durant, Dirk Nowitzki, Kobe Bryant, Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry, James Harden, Tracy McGrady, Larry Bird, Damian Lillard. Pure bucket getters. Before I continue, do you want me to reread it? Is there someone that's got you stumped?
I like all of them, but Dame's on there.
Damian Lillard as a pure bucket getter.
I don't know if I'm scratching my head because I don't like. I don't know. That one like kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't know if he's a pure bucket getter.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the dominant scorers.
I'm not saying he can't score.
Right. But whatever. Dominant scorers. The obvious number 1, Shaq. Number 2, Wilt. Number 3, LeBron James. Number 4, Giannis. Number 5, Malone. Number 3, number 5. Number 5, Malone. Number 6, Kareem. Number 7, Westbrook. Number 8, Wade. Dwayne Wade. Number 9, Robinson. I'm going to assume this is the Admiral from the Spurs, right? Hakeem Moses Malone. So the first one was Carl. Now this is
Okay.
Moses. And Ewing. These are dominant scorers.
Yeah. Completely different list, yeah.
Right. Now that you heard both lists, again, do you want me to repeat them? Is there, besides Dame, obviously, because you already said, is there anybody that is kind of like, I would switch these guys, or I don't even think he should be part of this list? Blah, 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 blah.
That's tough. That's tough. Because I'm thinking dominant, and I was surprised that, not surprised, but maybe I questioned it, Duncan not on that list.
Okay. Well,
But
okay.
I know
okay.
I know what dominant and being forceful and that sense of nature, but like, yo, Tim Duncan was a bucket getter,
He was.
quadruple double. Like his stats go straight with Kobe, 5 MVP.
Actually, that's fine. Oh no, Kobe is in pure bucket getters. Sorry. All right. I mean, I'm with
That
you.
would be my only like.
Would you
Because
take that?
I like the list.
Would you take the Admiral out to put Duncan?
I would, yeah.
Because that's what I was thinking. Listen, the Admiral was the Admiral. I'm not gonna sit here and say Robinson wasn't that guy.
Yeah.
He definitely was, right? But I'm with you on the Duncan. The one guy that I'm like, okay, I don't think I have him in any of these two lists. I just think he was a really. There wasn't really anything dominant about him, right? And there was nothing about him being a pure scorer. I just think he was a really great all-around player. And that's D Wade. They have D Wade in the dominant scores.
Yeah.
No offense to Wade. I am not here
Yeah, I'm with you.
to lash out on Wade. That's not what I'm saying here. Because I know some of you want to fucking.
I'm with you.
You guys are D Wade cocksuckers.
Right? Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That's how I feel about Dame.
Okay.
I'm not saying he can't. He get 30. He get buckets. He gets buckets.
Same with the thing with Wade is there's nothing. I don't know.
And the dominant, you know what I mean?
Like, what was dominant about Wade? Yeah, okay, cool. He could win the game. Yeah, cool. He could put the team on his back. That just makes him an amazing or a great
player,
a Hall of Fame player.
Yeah.
Now, am I going to put him as a dominant scorer? I don't
know. It's tough.
And we can argue that what's dominant about his scoring if, listen, we can all agree that Wade probably didn't have the best of handles. That doesn't mean he doesn't have handles. But the best of handles?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Wade, maybe on the post, maybe he was cool. But after LeBron, he learned to be a better post scorer. I'm not saying LeBron was the one that taught him. I'm just saying in that era, LeBron and D Wade had to learn how to be better post scorers.
Yeah.
To win those championships, right? So, does that make him dominant? If it took you that long, you know?
No, I'm with you.
We can all agree that his 3-point shooting is not the best.
No.
Which
he can hit them.
With that notion kind of gives me, but the thing, with that notion and kind of question why is MJ in the pure bucket getters, but MJ was MJ. Listen, I don't know. Listen, fight me. All I'm saying is D Wade shouldn't be on any of these two lists. He's just a Hall of Fame player.
Correct.
He's just a Hall of Fame player.
And everyone said, I'm gonna just say it. He's the third best shooting guard. We're just not saying he's a dominant
third.
scorer.
Don't give me fourth. A lot of people are trying to put James Harden over.
No.
That's one thing I'm not doing.
No.
That's one thing I'm not doing.
He is 3-3. That's it. Your number's 3. You wear the number 3. You are the third best scorer. That's it. I mean, third best shooting guard.
Right. Okay.
We'll leave him there.
All right. Cool. Let me know in the comments below, though. Which out of the two lists don't you agree with? Who are you switching? Who are they, and as well as us is forgetting? And this is all eras.
Jamal Crawford's a freaking bucket.
Yeah, I mean,
like a couple.
there's a bunch of them. I mean, if we want to go old and new, like I don't know how it doesn't really say until when do they stop this list. Because I mean, you
Yeah.
could easily put like Shea right now as a
Yeah.
maybe a pure scorer, maybe
Maybe.
right.
He's a bucket guy.
Joel Embiid as a dominant scorer.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know where they stop. It doesn't look like they have a stop because I mean they have dudes like Giannis up here.
True.
So Durant's up here. Steph is up here. Kyrie, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't look like they have a limitation of the eras. So let us know in the comments below. Who are they missing? Who are we missing? Who are you switching out? And what don't you agree with? Etc. 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 Now, moving on. I also have this here. We are going to have the Olympics this upcoming summer, right? The USA basketball team came up short last FIBA tournament, and it really sparked some hate, I guess, or some anger, and the big dogs are coming out,
Yeah.
right? So I'm only here just to read the roster. You let me know how do you feel about it, yes or no. If not, we're just gonna move on, okay? So it looks like right now, as strong candidates, they haven't said yes yet, but it looks like they will. Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, Bam Adebayo, and Anthony Davis are considered strong candidates to still join the USA team. Who has already said yes, and maybe a lot of us have already known, are Devin Booker, Drew Holiday, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid. These guys have already said, sign me up, I'm going. Right? Now, obviously, I know they have to go through their whole practice and all that fun stuff, so I guess we'll see how that goes. But with the names that are strong candidates and the guys that already said that they're going, how do you feel so far with this roster?
Damn, that 5 is crazy. That 5 right there to use the people that said yes.
Yeah.
Damn.
Why? I think it's more than 5, but still, they could that starting 5 with just the one that said yes.
Yo.
Okay, Devin Booker, Drew Holiday, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph
Yeah.
Curry, Jason Tatum,
Yeah.
Joel Embiid. They have the
Yeah.
center with Joel Embiid, right? Steph Curry, their point guard. The 2 guard Devin, right? Now you could play games. Now you could put Kevin at the 3, LeBron at the 4. Then you have Drew Holiday and Jason Tatum coming off the bench. Yeah. I mean, everything is cool so far. I also heard, by the way, because his name is not there. I heard, wait, is it? Before I say something stupid, I heard someone by the name of Kyrie Irving is thinking of playing for Team USA.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that pans out.
Damn.
Right, but
do that.
I would like. I know Anthony Davis and Bam Adebayo is considered. I would like maybe a few more big men because just leaving it to Joel Embiid, especially now that he's hurt, it's a little alarming. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we're gonna have to go up against the Jokers, and I'm going to assume dudes like Sagoon. I mean, Cat is probably gonna play for DR. Rudy's probably gonna play for France. What other? I don't know other big. Oh, Greek. Greek is gonna play for Greece. Excuse me. So I don't know any other big mans out there.
Yeah, I mean, if you get Embiid and AD, you get another one.
Maybe Julius Randle. Like, I don't. What's his situation? Or is No, Randle's not Canadian, right? He's American. Hey,
they get 1 or 2 more to be out.
Yeah, 1 or 2 big men. We just need, and it doesn't have to be superstars either. Like, it could be,
They said Bam's in there.
Yeah, Bam is there. Maybe what is it, Turner or whatever his name is from
Trey Turner.
No, yeah, right, from the Pacers.
Yeah, I know you're talking about
The big they're big man over there.
Yeah,
I forgot his name. Sorry, but I'm okay with the roster. It is what it is. All right, last basketball take right now before we get into other stuff. Our favorite Caitlyn Clark has now declared for the WNBA. Oh, by the way, shout out to Caitlyn and Iowa. They won their 3rd straight Big Ten, not the tournament, but their season champion. Whatever. They won 3 straight Big Ten conference, whatever the heck. But Caitlyn Clark now declares for the WNBA. This is gonna be fire. We all know how big this is. You want to know how important and huge this is? Okay, the first team, or the team that has the first pick, is the Indiana Fever. You want to take a good guess who's their first game of the season?
Who?
The New York Liberty.
Of course.
So we could potentially have as the season opener in the WNBA season, we'll have Sabrina up against Caitlyn Clark.
Yo, they know what they doing.
Hey,
They know what
I'm just
they
here to pod. You
doing.
know what I'm saying? I'm just here to pod.
They know what
Okay.
they doing.
To our non-sports question or topic or disregard that. All right, Eli, let me ask you a question, brother. Your loved ones. It doesn't have to be a girl. It could be me. It could be
Be
your
my
siblings,
dad.
your dad. Yes, anybody. Right? Should your loved ones have the responsibility of supporting you in whatever you do, regardless if it's pod, sports, your job, whatever? Should you expect your loved ones to support you, even if maybe what they're supporting you on, they're not hip or knowledgeable in?
Yeah,
Okay.
it should be.
All right.
My my dad has done a great job at taking care of the sports side. Now that like the sports side has ended and I suck. My mom has been tuning in to the pod. How's asking how's that going. Um, and even with life and just trying to grow and even like a new job opportunity that um is it's upon happening.
Mm-hmm.
Just tuning in, wanting what's best for me, and just like, hey, you want to do this? All right, let's pray about it. Oh, hey, you want to do that? All right, what are you doing to make that happen? Just having conversations, and wanting what's best for me. I think your loved ones, whoever they are, your brother, your sister, your uncle, if they're going in, ask, damn, that's a
That
tough
was a tough
bucket.
bucket.
If they're going in, checking in on you, you don't have to speak to them all the time. But if they're honing in and, hey, how's the pod going? Um, hey, can I get that again? I want tune in. I want to listen in to what you guys have to say.
Mhm.
That makes me feel good because obviously, we do this for us, but we also want to go ahead and do this for the fans watching, for the subscribers. But not only with pod, with anything. Like I said, when it comes to you and what you want to do, that should be a movement. Like, hey, like I'm checking in. Like, hey, what are you doing?
Mhm.
How's that going? Oh, you a little stuck. All right, what we got to do to get that going? So I feel like you always got to be in tune with your close ones. You always want what's best for them, and if you really do and truly do, you're gonna check in on them. You're gonna be like, hey, let's lock in, and if you could do that, that's all I want. It doesn't have to be all the time, but you
Yeah.
do need it. You do need to prove to me that you're there.
Yeah. That you care as well.
Yeah, care. Yeah, and that's what I mean by having those talks. I feel like if you can have those talks, and it doesn't have to be all the time, but tuning into the pod, tuning in to honestly being there, I think that's key. And it doesn't have to be 24/7. We know how things get with working. I work 2 jobs. So if you can grab me on a phone call like, "Hey, I just tuned into the pod,"
Mhm.
or "Hey,"
Don't call me. Comment down below or text me. Don't call
I
me.
mean, but you know me. I'm like I text, but it's not. I'd rather be on the phone. People are the
Yeah,
opposite.
I
People are
feel
like,
you.
hey yo, I'll
I
talk to you when I see you.
Yeah, I like face to face conversations.
Yeah.
I don't like being on the phone. If you want to really say something quick, text me, comment down below in the video. Yeah, or do the voice note shit. I know a lot of people hate that. I actually don't. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the voice notes, and I do it myself. No, I only do it if I can't. Like if I can't type, or it's too long, or
Yeah,
like I'll shoot the quick voice note. So those that don't listen to my voice note, fuck you.
and bro, because they're not quick. They're not quick. I listen to them. I'll be locked in. But it'd
Yeah.
be like 3 minutes.
No, I do send. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to text 3 minutes worth of words. You know what I'm saying? Like, so and I don't want to be on the phone either. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna send you. I'm gonna send you a voice note. So I know that's kind of reverse, but hey,
Yeah.
you
We go.
gotta, you gotta pick and choose.
We gotta get.
You gotta pick and choose.
That's the middle ground
Yeah,
right
yeah, yeah.
there.
That's me
That
right
is
there.
funny.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you 1,000%. And I think this is I think this is the reason why I asked because the other day, you have been one of those that you'll ask me periodically with, that off pod venture that I'm going through, or whatever. You'll just check up on me on whatever, and I do truly appreciate that. There's people. There's people. I'm bringing this up, right, and I'm taking. You know what? Because I have this platform, and they're probably not gonna watch it. So and that's why I'm here. There's people that are close to me that don't watch the pod. They don't ask me about the pod, what we talk about, what's the topics today. They don't even follow the pod or subscribe to it. So to me, it's kind of like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't harp on it because cool, you don't want to support, great. When we get to a point where now the support is monetized or now the content is monetized, don't come crawling in and like, hey, by the way, how's the pod? No, not. I needed you when we were at zero, right? And I take it very serious if my parents, my brother, my girlfriend, heck, once he's older, my son, I take it very serious. Those that are close to me, if they don't support me in any way, shape, or form, I don't care if you do. Listen, if you don't listen to podcasts because you can't sit there for X amount of time, that's fine. Who am I to tell you to sit there for 2 3 hours?
Word.
But I expect a like. I expect just click on the video, stay on for 30 seconds and leave. Subscribe to the channel, follow the Instagram account, right? Do what I need you to do for my success, our success, excuse me. Right? Um and then even if you don't sit and watch, even if you don't ask about my off-pod adventure that I'm trying to do, then ask me. How was the pod today? What you guys talk about? Oh, snap. I like that. Let me tell you what I think about that topic.
Yeah.
But if I'm going weeks, months, years, and there's no support from quote unquote my loved one, then what really are you to me? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm trying to um kind of measure our relationship, our friendship. And this is not okay. I don't want anybody to think this is target to anybody. This is just like a generic, take. I'm not trying to measure your support in regards to our friendship, relationship, family ship or whatever that. But I take that very, very personal because, especially me, I do a lot of things not just for myself. I do things for my son. I do things that if this get to where we want to get to, it's not me that's going to benefit from the fruit. My son's going to feel that. My parents are going to feel it from that. I would like to retire my parents. And shout out to my parents. My mom walks in on me editing video. Hey, how's it going? God damn, mom, relax, bro. Sheesh.
Word.
I'm in the middle of editing,
Yeah,
but it's going good.
yeah,
Thanks for asking.
yeah.
You know? Etc. etc. My brother sends me pictures. Yo, watching the pod, bro, and you out here talking about XYZ. You a dumbass for that. And kudos to you. I appreciate that.
Yo,
You know what
that's
I'm saying?
funny.
So it sucks if my brother didn't do that.
Yeah.
It sucks if my father or my mother didn't unknowingly barge in and,
Yeah.
and, and ask what's going on.
Yeah.
So I kind of just wanted to ask because there are people that I know where, and again, if you work on that frequency, who the fuck is Nefty to tell you not to?
Yeah.
There's people out there that be like, I don't care who doesn't support me. I got to do what I got to do. And that is fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm letting you know. I'm letting my loved ones know. I, Nefty, would appreciate, cool, if just hit the like button. Just watch 13 seconds of the video. Follow the Instagram account. Yo, there's no way that between the three of us, we have, and I'm just going to throw a number out there. There's no way between the three of us, we have 1,200 friends in our personal Instagram accounts. Actual friends. I'm not, putting the people that we don't know that somehow just follow us. I'm talking about the people that we have went to high school with, we talk on a daily basis, we play softball with, right? If between of us we have 1,200 friends, but our YouTube channel has 128 subscribers, our Instagram account only has 41 followers, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? You know? Um, and And like I said, the only reason I'm bringing that up is because that day that you asked me, it brought me to that light. Like, holy shit! Like, there's people that really do care, that really do want to support, that really do want to know what's going on, for whatever benefit, for whatever benefit. I'm not saying this is you, but you could just be asking me just to be a brown noser, or just to be in good standings with me. You know what I'm saying? But then you don't tell me that. What I do feel is, oh shit, maybe Eli does care. Holy crap!
Yeah.
Now that makes me feel good. Now I'm extra motivated because damn, I got people waiting for it. I got people asking for it.
I told you I'm ready.
Yeah, no,
So
for sure,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure,
yeah.
and I know that for sure. But it sucks when I'm just saying, and I know I'm like a broken record right here, and but it sucks again not targeting anybody. I'm just saying it sucks if I'm going through the day by day routine, editing the podcast, posting videos, and maybe that one or two people or a group of people, I haven't heard one word for like a year and a half about it. You know, so. Just wanted to ask, see where your head is at. Those that are watching, those that are listening. Oh snap! Speaking of listening, you know what? I'm gonna say this now, and maybe I'll put it at the beginning of the video. Us at the BES podcast. I forgot to mention this earlier. We are going to finally be hitting Apple Podcast. So those that can't watch it and are better listeners, there is no excuse now. Okay? We are going to be uploading on Apple Podcasts, so make sure you guys subscribe or follow. I don't really know how it works over there, right? Now, yeah, so subscribe and follow over there as well.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
also, I do know, I think I know for a fact that Spotify, we'll worry about Spotify in the later time. Right now, I'm just focusing on Apple Podcasts. But I know Spotify and Apple Podcasts, they ask you to rate, like 5 stars or whatever. If you can, please, 5 stars. Okay? And if it's not 5 stars, let's do this. Don't give us a 1 star. Hit us in the YouTube comments as to why we're not a 5 star.
Correct.
And maybe
yeah.
we can have a conversation or
Yeah.
work on it, okay? Like, do that for us, and we greatly appreciate
Yeah.
it. Cool?
I like that.
Cool. I love you guys. Thanks. Moving on, let's get to football. Eli, I was this close of calling you A-Rod for some reason.
Yeah.
Eli, you brought up in the group chat Shady McCoy having comments against A-Rod, aka Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Break down what were the comments, what's going on, and yeah.
He said that Aaron Rodgers is and this hurts to say because I understand what he's saying, but he underachieved. He's the most underachiever in the NFL, and to the point where 4 MVPs and 1 Super Bowl is not enough for Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
That he is supposed to have multiple championships. Especially if he's gonna put or be in the realm of a Joe Montana. Is one of the ones he continued to phrase as one of the greats. And I understand because Aaron Rodgers, as you know, had a great defense when he won that Super Bowl. He did, I want to say, play well, but he did have a great defense, if you can check. So it wasn't like, hey, Aaron Rodgers won us the whole thing. And my thing is, my rebuttal to that is Peyton Manning. That would be my rebuttal. And my rebuttal to that is like Peyton Manning has 3 MVPs?
Peyton? No, Peyton has 5.
He has 5.
5.
And 2 Super Bowls.
2 Super Bowls.
And we can all know that second one was they cradled him there. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you know, but he had that neck surgery, multiple, and they walked him in to the Super Bowl because that defense was so good.
That it was rated one of the best defenses in the last 25 years.
Elite. He basically had to make sure he didn't have any turnovers. And I'm gonna be honest, Peyton Manning was questioned as being better than Tom Brady.
Right.
when he was with the Colts. He only won one. Now, where Shady has me beat is, who in the world was stopping Aaron Rodgers from winning? And it's tough because when Aaron Rodgers, he lost to my Giants, and then he goes ahead and loses to the 49ers. So, yes, he didn't lose to the best player of all time in the NFL, but he did lose to a magical giant run, and he lost to a good defense
Yeah.
with a great offense.
Right.
Now, I'm going to respect what he's saying, but I do disagree. I wouldn't say he's the statement was he's the biggest disappointment. He underachieved in his career. Not his career, but like in total. I can name players that underachieved in the NFL and is not named Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Like, I just feel that's disrespectful. You got 4 MVPs, you got 1. Call it a day.
Right.
Now, to say he underachieved and that's it, you leave it at that, period?
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
To say in the all of NFL, Shady. Come on, bro. That's wild. That's real. That's real disrespectful.
You know what's crazy?
Because you have 4. You got 4 MVPs. You got 1. I'm confused.
All right. So let me tell you something, right? You changed my mind, and this is why. Because you brought this up in the group chat, and I was like, damn, but I don't think Shady is wrong. Because Aaron was, like you said, he was considered the great. He was considered the Brady killer because he was better than Brady.
Yeah.
And now you kind of mention all these points, and now I'm gonna have to get on. Now I'm gonna have to get on you, Shady. I'm sorry, and I get it because you're absolutely right. If you would have said a more defined point, we would just be like, "Hey, Shady said this," and boom, next topic.
Yeah.
But the fact that you said all that in regards to A-Rod, right? And not give me any reason as to why you think that, now I'm sorry, I'm going to have to put you on the burner. Because give me the reasons as why you think A-Rod is such an underachieving player or quarterback in the NFL. Because you can't just drop that on us and say nothing. Let me know why. And let me tell you why I don't think so, or why maybe we don't think so. Aaron Rodgers had to go up against the Bradys, the Mannings, the Brett Favre. You know, well, not really. Excuse me. Not Brett Favre. What's this guy's name? Ben Roethlisberger. You know, there was other quarterbacks in the league. Once Peyton moved to Denver, then Andrew Luck comes in. There was other quarterbacks in the league, not only trying to do what they need to do, right, but stop you, Aaron Rodgers, right? Stop Brady and the freaking phenomenal run that he had in his career. You know, all you guys are just trying to stop one guy. So I'm not going to put it on A-Rod if he's underachieving because he couldn't beat Brady or Peyton or, you know, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees. We're talking about an era where we might be looking at the best QB era of NFL history, and you're gonna punish A-Rod for that? No, and if so, why? Okay, because that's number one, right? Number two, who you're putting the blame on is not even the right guy. Cool, you had the guy once again, the guy that's the Brady killer. You guys had Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb. You know, Devontae Adams at some point. Cool. Best defenses year in and year out. Okay, so what did the coach do to bring you guys to a Super Bowl? But we're going to put it on A-Rod. Right? Now, yeah, I get it. It is the most important position. You know, they got to do what they got to do. I'm one of those that been here multiple weeks saying, if you're not a game manager, you got to be a game changer. That's cool. I get it. But it's not 1 against 11. Ask Joe Burrow. Ask Jalen Hurts. Okay, ask Josh Allen. Jalen Hurts doesn't. I mean, Joe Burrow doesn't have an O line. If Joe Burrow had an O line, hey, Pat Mahomes didn't have an O line against Brady again in the Bucks. How did that turn out? Okay, Jalen Hurts would without his O line. Okay, so again, I get it. A-Rod, yeah, blah blah blah. This and that and the third, but tell me why though. And then, while you're telling me why, also include maybe the obstacles that he had to go through. Because we're not going to sit there and say he's a underachieving quarterback when he's going up against Hall of Fame quarterback week in and week out. Right? If I sat here and say, Shady, you were one of the worst running backs in your time, what would you tell me? Oh, no, but DeMarco Murray played around. We had Jamal Charles around that time. We had Ahmad Bradshaw. Okay. So did Aaron. Aaron had to go against Brady and the Paytons and the Andrew Lucks and the. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. So that's very, very ignorant of you to call A-Rod an underachieving QB. Excuse me.
The biggest
Underachieving QB, and then not really back up your point as to why. Just kind of just drop that little gem and leave.
Yeah, he just said, hey, to put him in the names of the all-time greats, like he should have done more. He should have had more Super Bowls than just one. And I get it. I'm like, I get it. A-Rod should have more. Aaron Rodgers should have maybe.
Is Peyton? Peyton has to be the biggest. Peyton has 2 Super Bowls, like you said,
and
technically 1. And I'm honestly ready to sit here and say 0. Because the Colts had a pretty decent defense. They had Marvin Harrison. They had Reggie Wayne.
I mean, in the Super Bowl, I think he won that game.
No, yeah, of course. I'm not doing that. But I mean, it was against the Bears, though. So
there's
also that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then didn't the Colts play against the Saints in the Super Bowl and then lose against Drew Brees? The Drew Brees Saints.
Yeah.
So then, if Peyton is this high and mighty guy, maybe he should have 3 Super Bowls, right?
Yeah.
Or more, at least more Super Bowl appearances, right? Brady has 10 with 7 championships. All these guys had to go up against Brady. So
it's tough.
I don't know. Ben Roethlisberger underachieving? He only has 1.
Yeah, my thing. His statement was the biggest underachiever in the NFL. Like that's what stood out to me. If he would have just left it at.
How about every Dallas quarterback since 1996?
Tony freaking Romo, hello. Like I'm confused.
But I could guarantee if you bring up Tony Romo, be like, but it's Jerry Jones not setting up the team. Oh, but they had bad coaches. Oh, but the O-line this. Okay, so then Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Yo, you get what you get, and you don't get upset, bro.
Yeah,
you gotta hoop.
I'm sorry, bro, but grab a seat, brother. Grab a seat.
That was a tough one.
We allowed you to get away with the whole when you were I Am Athlete telling. I forgot who you said that they would get cooked. I forgot what that clip was all about. We allowed you to get away with that one because you were kind of one of them. This one,
that one's a little.
This one, you're crazy.
Yeah,
you're crazy. And if you ask me, I feel like you're sipping a little bit of the haterade. Yeah. Now, to piggyback this, right? Eli, let me ask you a question because this has been a huge topic in the last week and a half. What do you consider a winning culture?
Ooh, this is good. It's supposed to start from the top to bottom.
Okay.
So it starts with your GM, starts with your manager, then it goes down to your players. Obviously, our beloved Yankees doesn't have that, so they have to go a different route. But it has to start with the top because that's who drafts, that's who brings in players. You set the culture for your team. You set I love how Miami loves to do it, the Heat culture, and how they run their practices in the off season, and where they need to be with their body fat and body weight. You need to set the tone, and you need to set the tone early. Your manager does that because he picks the head coach. The head coach now has to deal with the players. With the players, now need to have a respect for their coach, and then individually, they have to go ahead and take responsibility.
Okay.
So for the winning culture, I think if they start at that base, then they can then create a winning culture. Because it all starts there. We've seen organizations who've had great players and not have a winning culture. So in order to have a winning culture, it all starts for me top to bottom.
Okay. Do the Dallas Cowboys have a winning culture?
No.
Actually, I should start with this question. Does a winning culture, to have a winning culture, do you have to win championships? Do you have to make it to the championships? Or do regular season wins play a role?
Oof, this is tough. This is tough because the Cowboys have won and been in the playoffs. That's winning.
Well, last 3 seasons, Cowboys are 12-4 all three, or 12-5 all 3 seasons.
I was just about to say they win, and that's tough because we mark. I mean, I mark, you mark, everyone. You're not fully winning if you're not holding the trophy.
Right.
Yeah, you're winning games, but the goal is at the end to hold the Lombardi Trophy.
Okay.
So if we go into that aspect, they haven't fully won if they didn't win one.
Okay.
If they won one Lombardi Trophy and they've had seasons like this to lead up to one, they have a winning culture. For me. Now, if you're just winning games, but then you're bouncing the first at home and you lose by 30, did he just have a good regular season? Like, what stopped?
Do the Niners have a winning culture?
To my answer, no.
Okay.
They haven't won. But I'm gonna have to go back. They do because they win games. Their record is, what was it, 13-4?
Yeah, something like that. And
they were the number one.
Made it to the Super Bowl.
So I think I'm putting my own biasness. It's a sense of winning. But if we're going to talk about just that alone, the 49ers do have a winning culture. Like, the Cowboys do have a winning culture. They've won games. They every year they have won. But like I said, like, for me, an instance, if we talk about a team winning the whole thing, they haven't had a taste of victory at the whole end of it. So for me, they don't fully have the entity of winning entirely, if that makes sense.
Do the Rams have a winning culture?
The Rams?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. If you're talking about this season and the years prior, they've won one. Yeah. Now they have a roster who they can now build on. They went to the second round.
Because this is where it gets tricky, right? I don't disagree with anything you're saying. But by what we're basically alluding, that means only one team in the entire NFL has a winning culture.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's wrong, but something about that doesn't sit right, because that means I'm telling Cincy, I'm telling Buffalo, I'm telling San Fran, I'm telling this year Detroit and Minnesota, Dallas, excuse me. I'm telling these teams, yo, you guys don't have a winning culture.
No, yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not gonna sit here and say that's wrong, but that just doesn't sit right with me, you know?
Yeah. It's tough. I felt like when I was explaining, because it's my own biasness.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not winning the whole thing, are you really winning?
Right.
But that's not saying that leading up to it, you weren't playing winning football.
Now, where this is where I'm kind of gonna debunk the whole Dallas thing. You do have a winning culture in the sense of the regular season because yes, you're 12-4, 12-5, whatever it is, 3 years straight. That's phenomenal. You know what I'm saying, bruh? Any team that is 12-4. I mean, should I look up the Patriots record when they went crazy? Any teams at 12-4, I'm considering you. I'm considering you a
Yeah.
championship team,
Yeah.
right? Now, this is where Dallas doesn't get the winning culture because cool, 3 years straight, 12-4. All right, how many playoff wins do you have? And that's where it gets a little in the gray area, because you can win all the games in the world, but if you don't win in the playoffs,
Yeah, that's the tough
right?
part.
And that's why now that aspect is where I have a problem because cool, you have a winning season, you win playoff games, you get to the Super Bowl, you get to the conference final. Are you not considered a winner because
Yeah,
you
it's
lost
tough.
the game?
So like the 49ers are a winning culture because they won playoff games, but they haven't won it. Is the playoffs included?
Um,
Because you gotta have a taste of winning in the playoffs.
I think you listen. You started off by saying that it starts from the top, right?
Yeah.
So I think the 49ers have to be considered a winning culture organization because you're starting from what's the GM? I forgot his name, right? The Shanahan, right? These guys that been regardless of their records in big games or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be, they get there, right?
Yeah.
You guys been in 2 Super Bowls in the last 4 years. Granted, you lost, but guess to who did you lose to,
Yeah.
right? So it's like I can't I Nefty can't put the 49ers in the losing category if that's your resume,
Yeah. I
right?
agree.
Dallas Cowboys, you don't have that resume. You're 12-4. Great, got it. Okay, now it's playoff time. What happens? Right? The Rams, it teeter totters because you had one great season. Yeah, you went and got Matthew Stafford, the head coach. He's one of them. You know what I'm saying? OBJ has a very bounce back season. But since then, now what?
Well, a bunch of their players, like Von Miller, left. Like they had
Yeah,
players
and they
on the
have been hurt,
defensive, and they had
and I know they have been
Ramsey,
hurt.
and they
Now
have been
this year
hurt.
they played very well.
Well, they drafted a guy
Yeah,
who
correct.
is
Right?
really good, so they bounced back, and that's due. To me, like you lose defensive players, and then you draft well. He
Right.
wasn't a first rounder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was late
But then
round.
okay, continuing on, like I don't know if I should call him a winning culture or not, but then you beat the Cincinnati Bengals, right?
Yeah.
Who again, besides this season because of a lot of injuries, they too have 12-4 seasons. For a year and a half straight, Mahomes couldn't beat you. You just come short in the big game.
Yeah.
Are you not a winning culture? You know? Now, again, back to the NFC East, another team that I can't really put you there. I get that you made it to wherever you made it to, but I can't really consider you a winning culture. If you go to the Super Bowl, you lose to Patrick Mahomes. Okay, I get it, right? Cool, get it. But then you come this year, and then you have a 7-week skid of just losing games.
To the
A
Giants.
winning culture
Twice.
doesn't lose 7 straight weeks or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was bad.
That's me.
Yeah.
Right? So I can't put Philly there because of that. I can't put Dallas there because of their playoff woes. But it's very tough for me to not put 49ers, to not to put Cincy, not put I guess Rams recently. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. Because and it's only the NFL because if you go in
Yeah.
baseball there's a lot of teams we could put up there. Obviously we have Houston, we have Atlanta. I mean, people want to put the Dodgers. You guys only really have one, and it was a shortened season because of COVID. I'm not trying to limit you guys because of that. But what happened before COVID? Like, you guys have the best players.
Yeah.
Like, usually you're starting 9, 7 of them are all-stars,
But
and you can't do nothing in the
so
playoffs.
before they started buying these high caliber players, like they were, to me, in my eyes, a winning culture. Now they're like the freaking Yankees back in the freaking
Yeah,
the
true,
'90s,
true.
where now they're just buying everyone.
Oh, okay, and then to your point, all right. So now
St. Louis, like St. Louis has a
so now let's go to the NBA. You mentioned the Heat as a winning culture.
yeah,
Since LeBron left, they haven't won one though.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we have to consider that a winning culture because, to your point, they have Pat Riley, they have Eric
Spoelstra.
Spoelstra. Every year they make it out to the Eastern Conference Final, as well as the NBA Finals. You know what I'm saying? So, honestly, the Heat is a perfect example as to why I can't discredit the 49ers, the Rams, Cincy.
Yeah.
You know, the Phillies. The Phillies, yes, I get that you come up short, but you get it. You get to the CS.
Yeah.
You know, or at least the DS, and you lose to the potential champions in the Atlanta Braves that one season. So this question this entire week
It's tough.
because of the Dallas Cowboys, because the Dallas Cowboys is what really was at the top of this question this entire week. What do we consider the winning culture?
Yeah, no, and when you put it like that, it's tough because like they win,
Yeah,
but they haven't won the big game, and they haven't done it for such a long time, or at least gone there.
yeah.
At least make it to the freaking um, what is it the
Yeah,
conference?
the
At least make
conference,
it to the
the conference
conference.
finals, the championship series,
Like
whatever
to
sport it
then be
is.
considered in that win, like the stigma is Cowboys. They say it's their year every time, and they get bounced in the
Yeah,
first round.
and this might have been one of your best years to do it too.
That's what I'm
The
saying.
cast that you guys had this year.
Like that was heartbreaking because you lost to Green Bay, who
But see, this is why I'm not trying to combat you. Let's go back a topic before. Dallas Cowboys this season is a perfect example why. Now I know Dak is Dak, right? But this is the perfect example, Shady, as why you can't harp on Aaron Rodgers because Dallas played their hearts out. They had an all-star defense, an all-star offense. But when the games mattered the most, what did the defensive and offensive coach end up doing? Not preparing the team to win a game against the 9-7 Green Bay Packers?
and no disrespect to them,
Right,
because their
because you guys
second
did what you were
half,
supposed to do. Jordan Love showed his ass out.
yeah,
But the Dallas Cowboys is a perfect reason why someone like Shady McCoy can't call Aaron Rodgers the biggest underachiever.
yeah.
There's way too many variables as to what makes a winning team, a winning culture, a championship team.
Yo, and you need a little bit of luck. It just
1,000%.
you need health.
1,000%.
Yeah, you need a quarterback. Yes, but you need health and you need a touch of luck.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
you
yeah.
do. I'm
For sure.
sorry.
For
We've
sure.
gone and seen too many freaking Super Bowls, and we've seen the luckiest thing happen. We see Eli Manning not get freaking to the floor. We seen
Yeah.
Edelman
Yeah.
catch a ball. We seen
Yeah.
David Tyree.
Yeah,
We've
see
seen
it
an
all.
interception. My guy should have ran the ball. Like
Yeah,
we've
I was just about to
seen
bring that up.
the lights go off, the game go back on, and it's a different game.
Just stuff happens.
It
Just stuff
happens.
happens.
You need a little bit of luck. So we get how hard it is.
Oh, that was good. I like that. It doesn't seem like we got to
Yeah,
an answer, but
yeah.
moving on. Your New York Giants and the Pittsburgh Steelers are looking to sign newly free agent Russell Wilson.
I wish he was here for I mean, yes, because we don't. Well, they say we're done with Daniel Jones. I don't know how true that is.
Mhm.
We do owe him a lot of money. We're gonna have to hold on to him. I don't mind. It depends who we get in the draft, so I don't mind getting him. If we're gonna go QB, I don't want him going thrown out there game one. Here you go, let it rip.
Yeah.
Cause we Giants as of right now, no winning culture. And I get what we did last year and that run that we did, but that's not gonna happen.
Well, listen, this is my thing about this. First, let me answer for the Steelers. Do it. There is no reason for you guys to pick Kenny Pickett
Yeah.
over Russell Wilson. I don't care what Wilson has done in the past 3 seasons, right? If we take Wilson's worst season, which was 2 seasons ago with the Seahawks, right? He had 12, no, what was it? It was 18 touchdowns, some weird low teen number of touchdowns.
Yeah.
But he barely had any
Interceptions.
Interceptions. Do you want to bring up how many touchdowns Kenny Pickett had this season? No? Cool. That's great. Don't. Why?
Yeah, don't go
Because
there.
Wilson still had more in his worst season. Okay? This past season started off rough. I get it. Listen, he has to get accustomed to Peyton's oh my gosh.
Offense.
Game plan, yeah, all that fun stuff, right? But what happens? They get blown out. I forgot what week it was. Then they win like 4 or 5 straight against top teams, by the way. One of those teams,
Kansas City.
cool. I don't think Kenny Pickett does that. So for the Steelers, I don't know what you're waiting for. Do it. Stop it. Okay? Stop it. The Steelers, do the Steelers have a winning culture? Okay, we're going to move on. We're going to move on, right?
Hey,
okay. The Giants.
100.
This is my issue with your Giants. And potentially, this is also very biased because this is kind of my issue with the Patriots.
Yeah. Stuff.
If you want to move on to Russell Wilson, that's fine. Then trade Daniel or whatever the case may be. Get whatever you need to get from Daniel. You need to keep, all right, Barkley, because that's going to help the offense. If not, there's someone else that you guys are potentially trying to bring in because Barkley might go to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Gross.
I don't know if you guys know, but there's high rumors of the Eagles signing Saquon Barkley. Regardless, let's stay at the topic at hand, right? Cool. You get Russell Wilson, get what you get from Daniel Jones. You either keep Saquon. The other rumor is if you lose Saquon, I heard the Giants are trying to sign Josh Jacobs, which is I guess it's a good sub.
Yeah.
Whatever. But if you do that, cool. Now you're the 6th pick. You're probably not gonna get Marvin. All right. If I was you, I'd probably get maybe JJ McCarthy. Right? Depending on who slides down there, who's the best quarterback, I would draft the quarterback, have them sit at least 6 weeks behind Wilson and gain some knowledge or something, right? Wilson starts teeter-tottering. All right, get out of here. They're probably only going to pay Wilson the bare minimum anyways because Denver is paying him. Cool.
Yeah.
So Wilson doesn't pan out. You at least drafted a quarterback at the 6th pick that hopefully is a franchise quarterback and put him in, right? Now, what I think you guys also should do is give your boy that you gave $30 whatever million a year a second chance because of what? He wasn't really healthy last season. And to most of your point throughout the season, both of you, the Giants didn't do nothing to help him. Cool, you guys got Hyatt. Cool, you guys got whatever the tight end's name is. I forgot his name is. But guess what? Even though with the signings, you guys still didn't put it together to have a cohesive offense for Daniel Jones to thrive. Okay? Which is my issue with the Jets and Zach Wilson, which is my issue with the Patriots and Mac Jones, and I'm going to get to that in a second. Okay? So you guys could potentially go both ways, but you guys have to make the right decisions with whatever way you guys go. Wilson, draft the quarterback, have him sit behind them, gain some knowledge. If Wilson doesn't pan out, boom, J.J. McCarthy's not your starting quarterback, or wherever you guys pick. You stick with Daniel Jones? Okay, let's see what's in the draft. Let's get him. You got Neighbors from LSU. He's a good wide receiver. You got the one wide receiver at Washington because we all know you're probably not going to get Marvin Harrison. It is what it is, right? You guys have that the tight end from Georgia. He went fucking crazy this past season, okay? There's also that one wide receiver at Florida State. Depending who is the best available, let's supplement the offense. You guys have Hyatt. You guys have that one tight end. If you lose Saquon or keep Saquon, get Josh Jacobs. Don't get Josh, whatever. But now let's give a healthy, by the way, because he got hurt, a healthy Daniel Jones that you guys are paying $30+ million a year, an extra chance to let us know why we gave you this money.
Yeah.
And this is what I also think the Patriots should have done with Mac Jones. Why? Because for 2 seasons straight, Mac Jones went 10-6 his first season with the Patriots. Then for 2 seasons straight, right? Offensive coordinator to shits. You get Joe Judge and Matt Patricia as his dual offensive coordinator. They're both defensive. Excuse me. Matt Patricia is a defensive coach. Joe Judge is a wide receiver coach that ended up being a head coach for the Giants, came back to the Patriots, and now he's an offensive coordinator. I don't think any quarterback is thriving in that, right? Next season, you get Bill O'Brien. Do I really have to get into Bill O'Brien's history? No, I don't want to because it's ass. And I feel bad for Ohio State because now that's your head coach. So I don't know how, unless he's like Nick Saban where he was horrible with the Dolphins, ends up building a freaking dynasty in Alabama. We'll see what happens with Bill O'Brien at Ohio State, right? So cool. what they should have done is bring back Mac Jones. I'm not saying he's a complete loser. Now, I'm not saying he's a game changer either. But give him an actual offensive coordinator. Give him actual, because now we have the number 3 picks, right? The number 3 pick. Let's give him some weapons and see, hey, could this actually be the number one, not the number 1 pick, the first round pick that we picked, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago? Can this pan out if we put him in a situation where he could thrive? Now, that obviously is not going to happen. The Patriots ended up trading Mac Jones to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And that's what I think. I know I went to the Patriots, but this is what I think the Giants should have done. Regardless of the fact, I think the ball is on you guys' court.
Yeah.
You guys have pretty much determined your destiny at this point. Let's just hope it's just the right decision. That's all I really got for
I
this.
know.
Yeah. I already let you guys know Mac Jones got traded to Jacksonville. Mac Jones was actually born in Jacksonville. I got a lot of people texting me this morning. Yo, Ray, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, listen, this is the way I see it. It looks like they're going to move on, probably draft a quarterback in the NBA draft. And whatever they do is whatever they do.
NBA draft.
Excuse me, in the NFL draft. Sorry. The NFL draft. And whatever happens there. Okay, for those that are watching and listening, LSU in South Carolina is playing right now in the SEC championship game or whatever, and a big brawl is spewing right now. So that's why we kind of just like pause real quick. But yeah, the way I see it is the Patriots are probably trying to move on, get someone in the NFL draft, aka a quarterback, right? Mac Jones is from Jacksonville, so it kind of be cool for him to go home and just back up Trevor Lawrence in case of any injuries or whatever happens. That's the way I see it. Plus, Jacksonville gets, in my opinion, a very, very cheap backup quarterback. That's the way I see it. Now, other roster news, and I feel bad. Actually, no, I don't feel bad. Eagles, Fletcher Cox declares for retirement.
Yeah.
Oh, and it feels so bad, right? How the high and mighty have trembled, right?
Yeah.
You guys lose basically one of the best centers in recent history, or memory at least, right? In Kelsey. Now you lost Fletcher Cox, which was, if I'm correct, I think he's one of your captains.
Oh.
This guy defensively has been a juggernaut for you guys, right? Now you guys lose 2. Let's not even talk about their play. You guys lost 2 leaders.
Yeah.
Leaders. And let's just think about that. You guys lost 2 leaders after going an 8-week skid that went stupid. And during that 8-week skid, you guys also are losing your defensive coordinator, this, that, and the third. Hey, I don't know how much worse this can get, but it's getting worse.
Yeah.
And and listen, even though we hate you guys or whatever the case may be here on this podcast, I hope you guys figure it out. Because if not, it's going to get pretty bad. Because you lost 2 leaders. You guys go through whatever you go through. Your offensive line is still shit. Right? And
defensively, they got worse.
Yeah. And, I think you guys didn't sign, or he got hurt or whatever. What's the cornerback? The quarterback's name? Cornerback's name? I forgot his name. Whatever. And then obviously Jalen Hurts with no offensive line can't do what Jalen Hurts is best. Or does best, excuse me.
What, 1-yard push?
By the way, which in that whole like tush push shit, you guys lost the best guy that does it.
Yeah.
Had to change the battery, guys, so that's why it kind of cut off like that. But we're back, and I also got hot. So anyways, I think I left off saying by Philly. Sorry.
Tough.
It's just going to get worse.
Tough.
It doesn't look like it's getting better anytime soon. Unless somehow your GM just turns on freaking Ultra Instinct.
Ooh.
And just makes off-season moves and signings that just brings you guys back to a championship team.
Yeah.
But I don't see it, so.
I don't see it either, but you never know. The NFC is always a toss-up.
Yeah, especially that conference. I mean, that division. That division. That's like the division of hell, honestly.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Is there anything that you want to say maybe a quick trick. Quick trick. What the heck? A quick topic. Are you triggered about anything?
Nah, man. No, I'm not triggered. I'm just excited that baseball is around the corner.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'm happy about that. I'm just and I'm tired of all this rain and cold.
Oh yeah.
I need some heat, and this week we're gonna have some heat. So I'm excited about the weather that's coming up.
That's a whole fact, brother. That is a whole fact. Damn, I just had something in my head that I want to speak about, and it just left my mind, and now I don't remember what it was about. Shoot, I don't know. I really don't. It was gonna be like a quick topic for me. But anyways, if it comes back, I guess I'll bring it up next week. Because it's obviously not that important to talk about it now. That being said, if you guys enjoy this episode, make sure you guys like the episode, like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Once again, I will let you guys know. We have a goal, gang. I have a goal for you guys. Let's get to 150 subscribers by the end of March. Can we do it? I think we can. I think we actually can. So let's get to the 150 subscribers by the end of March. Break that goal, surpass that goal, and set another one.
Let's keep it going.
Okay. Also, keep an eye out on the podcast on Apple Podcasts as we are going to start posting on Apple Podcasts. So those that can't watch but can listen, now you have no excuse. Now you have somewhere where you can at least listen to the pod. Okay? And hit that notification bell on YouTube so you never miss a beat. You already know, gang. I love you guys. Till next time.
Peace.